Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Latoya Ebony. I do a lot of type 4 natural hair care videos. We're about to pop my fashion back into the mix, so definitely stay tuned for that. Super excited. But today I'm going to be talking about my experience through the 30-day hair detox created by Black Girl Curls, some pros, some cons from my own experience, some things that are kind of neutral, a couple of questions that I think could use a little bit more clarity behind it, and Anthony Dickey versus Black Girl Curls, what my preference is. I hope that you will enjoy this video. It's going to be a little bit longer. I encourage you to add your 2 cents in the comments. As always, I always appreciate you guys chiming in. And with that, let's get started. One pro of going through the Sesame Curls course is that you get to learn and kind of reconnect to the fundamentals of hair care. It really teaches you to think critically about the technique you're using, the products that you're using, the desired outcome, and it's really like the basics of hair care. It's something that I really appreciated about the course, and it really got my mind percolating around some of the technique and the decisions I want to make to achieve certain outcomes. There's also a lot in the course just about kind of the basics of hair care, you know, surface texture, shine versus sheen, curl pattern, and really just getting you comfortable and used to your hair, what sits on top of your scalp. Ladies, gents, you guys, all my loves out there, you know, this whole hair care journey, really what I appreciated about it as a whole is that it's teaching you to accept what you have. And I think that that's one of the fundamental cores of the course, which I really liked, and it always aligns with sort of what I talk about on this channel. So I really appreciated that. And one thing I really want to point out is that it is your journey. And, you know, there is no right or wrong way to do it. Everyone's going to go through their own process with this. But really, it kind of brings you back, if you really like pay attention, it kind of brings you back to, you know, the fundamentals and getting in touch with your hair and being comfortable with your hair. So I think that that's a really strong pro. A perceived con that I have from my point of view is that it seems very first world centric. You know, one of the fundamentals of, you know, taking care of your hair is being able to wash it, reset it on a consistent basis. However, there are many people from other countries who just don't have access to water as regularly as someone in a country like mine, the United States. Does that mean that the traditional practices of other countries is not valid? To me, no. I think that there are so many different ways to do things, because I get messages. I get messages from people that live in other countries, and they're like, does this mean that my hair will not be properly taken care of because I don't have access to running water on a regular basis? You know, and they really build their routine around their lifestyle, and it's something that I talk about a lot. I build my routine around my lifestyle, and with my lifestyle, I have access to water. At least once a week, I can wash my hair, and, you know, one of the things that they talk about in the course is, you know, this whole idea of, you know, re-moisturizing the hair. And it's like, no, you have to get back in the shower, wash it again, reset it. You know, there's no, you know, sort of like adding more product and all of that. It's all really about getting the optimal hydration. For me, that leaves a lot of gaps, and it leaves a lot of room for people to kind of question, you know, what's available to them. And that's why I personally believe that there are so many ways to do this. I don't think that there's one technique. I do appreciate that this is like kind of the fundamentals of hair care and, you know, how you can achieve your results and, you know, learn your hair, but I don't think that it's accessible to everyone. A pro to this method is really learning how to properly cleanse your hair, and it works, you guys. Like, just learning about what they call the shampoo spectrum. I don't know if that's something that they made up or something that they got from their cosmetology learning. However, you know, just thinking a lot more critically about, you know, the shampoos that I'm using. Do I need a deeper cleanse? Do I need something more moisturizing? And also the hydrate step, you know, the conditioners, you know, do I need need a deep conditioner? Do I need a special treatment? So I really appreciate that about the 30-day hair detox, and how it really just helps you really think about, okay, like what do I need today in terms of cleansing and hydrating and even styling? And it kind of ties into the first thing, but that whole shampoo spectrum for me is amazing. It's gold. A perceived con for me is that, for a lot of people, this will be very expensive. The course itself is about $45 a month at the time of me recording. They also have another course for hairstylists. Let me get my notes. It's called the Tight Curl Theory. Right now, that's, nearly $1,000. And then there's the Digital Mastermind course that's nearly $2,500, and those are for the cosmetologists. There's also the products. The products are not cheap. Most of them are $15 and up. I'd say the ones that I got were around the $30 US dollar range. So it can be quite expensive to get started and really get the optimal results. However, I do have to note that the technique that they use of emulsifying the product and really making sure that things are getting sudsy and activated, it really does help the products last longer. And even the products that you may already have, you can use those techniques to make your products last longer. I have noticed that things stretch a lot longer when I'm really making sure that I'm emulsifying it. So that is a pro, but I do think that the initial investment is high for some people. There's also the issue of the availability of products. I live in the United States. I have Amazon, though they do say in the course, like, Amazon is not the best place to find the most quality products because there are knockoffs on Amazon. So you really do have to do your due diligence and make sure that the brand actually has a store there. But you could also go to their website and see where they ship. But the availability of the products is just, it's kind of hit or miss. And I do think that that could be a perceived con for a lot of people. But you do have a lot of support. For example, there is a community specifically for, like, on the consumer level, like the casual people like me who are taking the course, where you can get that support and ask questions. However, I'm gonna say this, get your wallet ready if you really want to learn. Now, these next group of things are really kind of neutral. They're not positive or negative. It's really just gonna be based off of you and what you think. And the first is medical conditions. Like, this is not going to solve anything that has been diagnosed for you. If you happen to have like something simple like product buildups, build up on your scalp, then yes, this could help rectify that. I've heard many people say that. However, for me, I have a scalp condition called seborrheic dermatitis. Sometimes I call it seborrheic dermatitis, but I get a lot of flakes, and that is something that I've been diagnosed with, and I still have to use medicated shampoos for that. So it did not eliminate it for me. If you have any kind of medical conditions or something, like, you really do need to partner with your doctor, and you're gonna have to work with your hairstylist to see how you can incorporate all of these things into this routine, whatever you decide to do. And I think that is important. I think that it's important that, we partner with the professionals, because they are going to be able to help you through your particular journey. One of the things that they discourage in the course is finger detangling. Now, for me, finger detangling is bae. I've been doing it for probably the past 5-6 years. Absolutely love it. Have a whole lot of success. I actually don't really love using a tool because I feel that it kind of rips through my hair, and with my fingers, I can really feel what's going on and be a lot more gentle, and I do it a lot faster. Well, at least if I'm using a deep conditioner. So I would say that, they don't necessarily, they kind of do discourage finger detangling inside the course. However, if you're able to do it efficiently, then it should be fine, So I just think that it's the piece about really being able to really get into your roots and really practice that technique if that's something that you want, but they actually encourage using tools. Sitting under the dryer to activate the product. Listen, I hate sitting under dryers. This is one of the main reasons why I don't actually love going to the hair salon. And my mother's a cosmetologist, so you would think that I'd be used to it. I am not. I don't like sitting under the dryer, but I do find that you do get kind of the best results if you don't want frizz. If you kind of want a more laid look, I do recommend sitting under the dryer. However, it's just not that conducive to everyone's lifestyle. And if you live in like a hot kind of tropic area, then your hair might dry relatively fast, and also depending on your hair type and the characteristics of your hair. So, it wasn't my favorite, but for a lot of people it works. And it's really good for the winter time, I would say. Speaking of hairstyling, the wash and go is incredibly popular using this technique. It's one of the techniques that the hairstylists use in their salon. They focus on that, that's their thing, that's their jam. But there is a lot of versatility. You can do twist outs and braid outs and things like that. However, I have noticed that as much as, you are getting to learn your hair and accepting your hair in its natural state, when it comes to the styling, it does feel like, at least from what I've seen, in comments or other people's videos, that there does seem to be this sort of like chasing a specific outcome that is around like no frizz, very more of like a laid look to the wash and go. And for me, it's not really my favorite, just being honest. I really love the fluff, and to be fair, you can use different product combinations to create, the effect that you want. You can use different techniques. However, I would say that the majority of the people that I see, at least online, using, this technique, it's very much about a very laid look. And so you're gonna have to decide for yourself, how you want your hair to turn out. But I think that it can kind of contribute to this sort of, as much as it's trying to be accepting, sometimes it can still go to the other side. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're chasing a result from, the technique that you're using, you can get a little obsessed with getting it right. So I don't know, it's really up to you and how you kind of perceive it. But for me, that's how I felt. I felt like I was trying to get this specific result, and I think that it would be beneficial to just let that go. So I mentioned earlier that there is a lot of help. They have a community and there's a lot of people who follow this method. And I really think that it's going to be so important for you to find your tribe. Find the people that communicate in the way that you receive the best. There are so many different stylists who are, into like the cut it kinky and, who are into this method and this ideology, which really is kind of basic hair care. I love that they've like taken this sort of thing that they've learned in cosmetology school and found a way to, communicate it to people with textured hair. But really it is the basics, it is. And so I really, I think that you need to find the people that are going to allow you to receive the information in the way that you learn best. And there's a lot of people doing it, and so I don't think it would necessarily be hard. So just keep searching if you haven't found your people yet. Now this part has to do with questions and things that are sort of asked over and over again, but don't really get a lot of clarity behind it. And it's probably because it's so nuanced, or maybe this part of the course just needs to be developed a little bit more. I don't know. You can ask them yourself. I did have an hour-plus long conversation with Aisha, and there were just some things that it was like, I don't know. For example, what about people that don't have access to water? It was very much like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. So there are some things that I think could use a little bit more development or more exploring, or maybe, partnering with a hairstylist that can help you through some of these questions. And so there's that one. And then just the idea of, inside their book, they have a book called Wash Your Damn Hair. I have one of the first volumes of it, and I'm not sure if in their re-release they are addressing this. I don't have it, so hopefully they do. But in the version that I have, it says that, put all of your oils and your old products to the side for this 30-day hair detox. But it doesn't really get back to that idea in terms of if you want to reincorporate those kinds of products into your routine. What tends to happen is that there is a lifestyle shift altogether, and that, there's a lot of people who do the method and go, oh my God, this makes sense. My hair is thriving. I don't ever want to use oil and butter again. But there is a portion of us, like myself, who finds it beneficial for certain styling options, so for me, what I've gotten out of it is that, really just leaning on the shampoo spectrum and the hydrate and all of that, but really the shampoo spectrum, and really continuing, like I've always done, to think critically, like, hey, if I'm going to use oil, over a period of time, I may need to clarify more often. So that is a question that I haven't heard a ton of clarity around. There's also heat styling, and the typical answer has been to go to your hairstylist for that, but there are a lot of us that like to use heat at home, and so I think it would be beneficial to have a little bit more clarity around the heat styling. It's very possible that they've already clarified it and I just missed it in all of the lives that I've seen, but I do think that it would be cool for just some clarity, because at the end of the day, there's, manufacturers are making hair straighteners for people at home, and they're going to straighten their hair. They have created these products for at-home use. And so, for me, what I've done is I've used products like Living Proof that are silicone free, but there are a lot of heat styling products that have a lot of silicones in it. And so for me, thinking critically about it, it's been about, okay, well, going back to the shampoo steps and figuring out, what it is that I need to do to properly cleanse my hair. And then there's the piece about medical conditions like mine, like other people who have like a myriad of things that could be going wrong. You're not going to find like a clear-cut answer, and I think that's rightfully so. I really do think that you should be partnering with your medical professionals and your hairstylist if you need to like figure out how to puzzle these things together, because what's right for me may not be right for you. I got this question on my community feed that I really wanted to highlight. Crystal Jackson writes, so which method do you prefer for the wash and go, Anthony Dickey or Black Girl Curls? I've noticed you've done both methods. And this is what I wrote. Comparing the styling aspect only, the Anthony Dickey method I enjoy more. It's faster and fits my lifestyle. The cleansing, hydrating steps are under the same philosophy, and they just have nuanced execution. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. I've had 3 conversations with Anthony Dickey, 2 off camera, and the principles that cosmetologists learn in school are the same in terms of cleansing and doing what's best for the client sitting in front of them. As far as styling, I feel like whipping my head back and forth and all of that, it just works better for me. And I don't always feel the need to sit under the dryer, though it is an option. And I like how the results are a little bit better. I like that kind of poofiness that happens because of that shaking. And lastly, I've hit on this in my other video, but if you didn't see it, will I continue? And the answer is, like I've said in the other video, I'm done with a 30-day hair detox. I wanted to try it as a detox and see what I could take from it as I sort of incorporate it into my original routine, you guys. What I love about this is that, I really got a chance to think about, like, do I really need oil? Do I really need, I don't really use butters to begin with, actually, unless I was trying to get a hold for a style, but generally speaking, I use a very lightweight oil on my hair anyway. So for me, it's just about, thinking critically about hey, do I really need this oil right now? Is it conducive to what I need? Or can I just go without it? And so I think finding an even better balance, which I do feel like I already had a pretty good balance, but finding an even better balance to my routine, that's something that I'll definitely take with me, and I'm really excited to kind of play around and see how I want to incorporate this into, the routine that I already had that has got my hair to flourish the way that it does. So that is it. Chime down below. Give me your 2 cents on this whole thing, the pros, the cons, the things that you've learned, how it worked for you in the comments. Love to see it, absolutely. And stay tuned for some fashion videos coming up. I'm super excited about that. Yes, I'm back in my element again. And check me out on Patreon. We do a live every single month. At the last Sunday of the month, there's also content there that you won't find on YouTube. Any lives that I do anywhere, I always put them on Patreon, though I may not post them on like the original page that they went live on, and most people miss my live streams, so I put them there as well. There's early access, there's like a lot of cool things, and of course you can talk to me, and the group right now is rather small, so you'll definitely have enough time, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate the Coily crew for supporting me, and if you're interested in this whole series of the 30-day hair detox, no oil, no butter, aka on YouTube, I have a whole playlist right here, and then under here I'm gonna pick a video that you can watch, okay? I love you all. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in a couple days. All right, mwah.